Alright, how's it going? So we got this fight, this cruiserweight title fight between Opetaia and Nyika, right? Interesting fight, really interesting fight. I think that Nyika is a good boxer, a talented boxer, right? I think he can actually win this fight, but based on experience and based on what's proven so far in each guy's career, Opetaia obviously has to be the favourite, and I do think he will come through, even though I think it will be a competitive fight. I do think Nyika is talented enough, combined with the fact that he is a longer fighter, right? He has the reach advantage. He has a big amateur background, bronze medalist at the Olympics, gold medalist at the Commonwealth Games. He has some great sparring experience, as we've heard, right? These two guys have sparred many rounds together. Nyika has also been part of camps with Tyson Fury and Average Joe Parker, right? So he's got that experience sparring top heavyweights. He's got the experience sparring the guy he's fighting, Opetaia. He's got experience as an amateur, a lot of experience. And he has the reach advantage, and he's a good boxer. You know, he hasn't really shown that as a professional. I've seen, maybe 3 or 4 of his pro fights. He seems to fight in the pocket a lot, but I do think that he's not showing everything he has, because the guys he's up against are just not, they're not high level. So what I think is he's been fighting more on the inside, more up close, because he he doesn't rate these guys and he wants to knock them out. He wants to get inside and land his punches to get stoppage wins. But I do think in this fight against he will go to his boxing, right? I think he'll revert to his boxing ability, and he does have good boxing ability. I will say he's a little bit sloppy, and when he starts to gas out, he gets even more sloppy, and that's going to be a problem. A lot of times he fights with his hands down as well. That could end up being a big problem against Opetaia, that carries some power, right? So I just want to point out this as well. Has fought absolute tomato cans, right? He's fought absolute bums apart from Breeders. Breeders is really the only good fighter on Opetaia's record. He does have 2 wins over him, albeit very tough wins, and this is over an older Breeders. So yeah, even though is looking like this beast, or people are calling him this, this beast or great fighter or this and that, he did beat an older Breeders, right? Not a prime Marius Breeders. That's got to be pointed out. And also, he's fought no one else apart from Breeders. There's absolute bums on his record. So how good is really? I mean, for me, the jury's still out on that, because we just don't know. He hasn't proved himself enough in my book anyway. I mean, 2 wins over a great fighter, but a great older fighter doesn't necessarily prove that you're great. I think he's good, maybe even very good, and he does carry power. So, I'm not discrediting Opetaia here, but what I'm saying is he's not, he doesn't have a whole, he doesn't have a dozen wins under his belt that are good wins or great wins. You know, he's got 2 very good wins over Breeders, and that's it. So both these guys, I would say their records are filled with tomato cans. But obviously Jai is the more proven guy. I mean, just beating Marius Breeders twice, that beats Nyika's whole record. Beating Breeders once beats Nyika's whole record. It's not close. You know, 1 win over Breeders is worth, you know, more than 10, 15 fights against bums. That's for sure. So, yeah, in summary, I would say that David Nyika, he's got a shot, but he's got to prove something in this fight. You know, firstly, he's got to have the stamina to go 12 rounds, because I don't believe that he will knock Opetaia out. So he's got to be well prepared. You know, the stamina has to be there. And he's got to have toughness as well, and a chin, because he is going to be tested, he is going to be hit. If he can get through that, if he does have the toughness, if he does have the chin, if he does have the stamina, I think he can win the fight. But I am going to say Opetaia gets a job done, just based on, like I say, he's had 2 tough fights with Breeders, and that's a lot more than David Nyika has done. So, you know, based on that experience and what they've proven, I've got to go Opetaia. But I do expect a good competitive fight. Alright, let me know what you think.